Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Kala, Yabashim Yashab, Baharakal Kadash, Yabashim Yashab, Bashim Kadash, Brakatham, double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessed citation to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth sincerity. This lesson I wanted to go over is going over a statement. The statement may come across as vulgar, but I just wanted to make the connection in the scriptures, because everything is spiritual. And I found it very interesting of the term, as you see in the title. The term is petit mort, okay? And it's a term in French that goes back to little death, okay? And within the the phrase is made popular or a slang for it means having a little sleep after or a sexual orgasm. So once you come to your climax type of deal, and then you get sleepy or get drained, that's le petit mort, and that's pretty much they call it little death because that's as close as you to death, the sensation of death, as it feels is when you do that situation. Now, once you, why am I bringing this up? Because it's crazy. I just did one over the covenant that I was doing le petit mort, but I was just reading this book brother referred me to, and it was going over that statement, and then they referred it to a carnal sense, and then that's what it clicked for me. So they said pretty much it's just the same, pretty much having self-control. That le petit mort is going to exist within us, in which I do agree that pretty much you receive tension. That tension is representative of affliction. You build up that affliction. Then when your success is that you getting off. So it's the same as when you play football. The defense is adding the affliction. And then when you get the touchdown, that's the release. So the same thing with being in this gospel. This affliction that we're enduring in this present time is the tension building up, and the salvation is the release. And this is what drives, and based off the theory, is that this is what drives men. This is what drives you. This is what gives you reason to live. It's almost like the custom model Mike Tyson, waiting for him to become a champion of success. There's things that can drive you to focus, to live, to exist. But you would have to be able to control it. But let's get into the scriptures to show how the scriptures back it up. All right, so so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. We're going to get into the precept of 1 Peter chapter 4. Really, the whole chapter goes in the regards of this. Says, for as much then as Yahweh Shai have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he that suffereth in the flesh have ceased from sin, that he no longer should live in the rest of his life, rest of his time in the flesh, to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, from when we walk in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. So this is another turn of it too, because you, even though you want to find purpose, pretty much find your purpose to a le petit mort type of mentality, to where you set your eyes on something and not just getting it without that affliction. But at the same time, the little death sensation, you shouldn't be living to do that. And you can do that through life without discipline, pretty much with women, pretty much with drugs, inebriating yourself, pretty much with comfort, where you're just doing it at every moment. You get off work, comfort. You see someone you like, comfort. You see some food you like, comfort. You don't build yourself up to it. Just in relationship to food, when you sit there and fast and you know, you fast for a certain amount of days. When you go back to eat, that's that. That's where that le petit mort comes in. When you succeed in that diet, say you fast for a whole day, eating no food, no water, then when you eat that meal, it's pretty much a celebration of that success. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be when you wake up in the morning. As soon as you smell it, you eat it. As soon as you see it, you know, that's why it says, for in times past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting, and abominable idolatries. All these are just have nothing to do, have all to do with being undisciplined. When you go into lasciviousness, the word in itself, Slakia, look at that, lasciviousness. It says unbridled lust, excess, licentiousness, lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness, insolence. So wanton is being undisciplined. You can't keep your eyes, ADHD. And then it says licentiousness. You know, you pretty much giving yourself like I am, I will, therefore I am type of mentality. Do as thou wilt. That's what I meant. You know, and then you go to lust. You know, wanting more than what you know. Let's get the definition. I ain't gonna just wing that. You know, even though we know what lust is, it's a desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden. Lust. Okay, so when you go to the scriptures, it tells you to take pride in doing what? Having control of your desires. Okay? So you should be able to stop something at an instant. When you go to James chapter 3 and 2, it says, for in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same as a perfect man, and able to do what? Bridle the whole body. Okay? So the scriptures tell you about bridling your whole body, and when you bridle, that means you're controlling it like you put the bits in a horse's mouth. So if you're able to bridle your whole body, that means not just your physical body, but yourself, your spirit, your soul, your intentions, your flesh. You know, you're able to gain that control. And when you utilize that sensation, that same lustful sensation, and add purpose to it, you know. And what I mean by that, because unbridled lust is bad. But to lust for salvation, to have a craving for that, that's not bad. So if you have a proper purpose to energy like that, to because that's what drives you. When you lusting after something, bro, almost nothing can stop you, right? But when you get control and add purpose to that lust, then that will be your le petit mort. That will be your sensation that you will feel, your euphoria that you're looking for in drugs, a male or female counterpart, carnal things, food, money. You know what I'm saying? If you could set that, especially and specifically within the gospel of constant goals and being disciplined or being whatever you need to be in that situation to get that thrill, get that sensation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, ultimately it's salvation. You know, you go through a little affliction. You know what I'm saying? This light affliction. And see here, I believe that's the word I was looking for. Light affliction. So yeah, there we go. For 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and I believe 17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding external weight of glory. You know, while we look not at all things which are seen, but all the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So the things that you, it's just like we go back to dieting, right? You want, when you smell and you eat these foods and you're not being disciplined on your diet, You're being satisfied for that moment. It's temporal. That it's not real. But when you diet and you get your goal, when you get the weight, and you look how you want to look, and you be in a condition and in the shape you want to be in, it's more glory in that. So it's the same thing with salvation. Same thing like when you do things to be seen of men. That's your reward. But when you lay your treasures up in heaven, it's eternal. So we have to understand you can't be a glutton for the sensation, but understand what the sensation can give you, that it can give you drive, that it can give you confidence. And you have to stick to that basis when using the idea of that. You know what I'm saying? But it exists at the end of the day. You got to go through affliction in order to get success. Because, especially in this time, people like the microwave thing. Oh, I believe in God. I believe in the Lord. I call upon his name. I'm a child of God. No, you got to go through affliction. You got to go through that tension, man. You got to go through that tension in order to get that success. And it makes that success glorious. All right? Instead of just popping up and giving. You got to make a choice. Okay? So I just really wanted to share that. Nothing too much about it. It's just, when you choose your sense to get your euphoria, if you ever feel like you're in a mode of just looking for comfort, then you have no purpose. Even brothers within the gospel, because you could just be doing stuff on autopilot. You have to find a love for studying history. You have to find a love for going into Hebrew and being a better man of the Lord, being a better brother, being more disciplined, being more studious, being more consistent. It's like being more disciplined, consistent, studious, fair, stand out of the flesh, challenging yourself, do something to stimulate your pride, because you can give yourself a whole bunch of tasks, but you know yourself. You're not competitive. If you're a competitive person, if you are, whatever you take pride in, man, utilize that and put yourself in an environment to have to say is either I succeed in this or I'm going to hurt my pride. You know what I'm saying? So if you see yourself as a well-constructed person, give yourself a task that'll make you really be constructive, And if you want to compete, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with competing with yourself on a daily, man. Challenging yourself, constant progressing. And that'll give you something. Really, it's nothing to look for. You're going to go just chain attack to chain attack. Succeed in this, go through affliction in that. Succeed in that, go through affliction in this, succeed in this. And it's going to be an endless journey, and it's going to be well worth it, okay? But with that being said, I want to say, call law, Yabashim Ashai, Baruch Kakadash, Yabashim Ashai, Bashim Kakadash, Barakatham. Hopefully this was edifying to the flock. With that being said, say shalom.